All right, recording is in progress. Now let me give it back. Okay. And so we have to make sure that in whatever we do, we can be able to handle the depression that we deal with or whatever the problems is. So one of the why of depression we're going to deal with is anxiety. And so what causes our depression is this anxiety. One of the things that as I began to do a little research, it says one of the causes of anxiety that causes your depression is life experiences. And so, what do you mean, Pastor Dan, when you say life experience? We're going to be talking is whether you're going to deal with some type of abuse, whether you lost a loved one, financial problems, or even if you witness some type of trauma, that can cause anxiety. And so we need to be able to deal with those life experiences that we are facing with the abuse. Maybe it has been child abuse. Maybe you've been molested. Maybe you had mental abuse, right? We have to start dealing with those things in order to conquer this trigger called anxiety. Go ahead, Dr. Stonemeyer.
Yes, yeah. When you have anxiety, it causes pressure. Pressure. You have triggers that will cause you to have anxiety, cause you to start breathing fast, cause you to start to sweat. It may feel like you're about to faint, about to pass out. You know, you start holding your chest, just in different kinds of ways with this anxiety. And like he said, with the life experiences, it can be different things for different people. Just like he said, man, you got abuse, you got loss. You may lose somebody, loss of a loved one or something like that. And as he said, it takes time and it affects everyone differently. And also your current life situations, what's going on right now. It's not just about the past, but it's things that can happen right now in your everyday life, such as your unemployment, maybe looking for a job, something at work or something, or stress or something like that, as far as your relationships and relationship problems. It's a lot of things that's going to cause us to have anxiety. But you have to learn that don't a lot of times when you have anxiety, you worry about it. You worry. Anxiety brings forth worry. And I believe it's in Psalms chapter 1. It says, blessed is the man who that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bear its fruit in its season. And he said, now his leaf also shall not wither. But it tells you, do you know, I used the word, he shall meditate day and night. Do you realize that when you worry, that is a negative form of meditation,
Yes, yes.
a negative form of meditation. So you have to learn to just cool out sometimes, just chill. It's going to work out like it's going to work out, but you have to know that the Lord is on your side and you don't have to go all ballistic. So you
Yeah.
may feel like it. Sometimes I even feel like it. But I got to tell myself, listen, study about it. Take a chill pill.
Yes.
Take a chill pill and breathe. Breathe. It's very important to breathe. Inhale, exhale. Take the time to breathe it all out. And while you're breathing it out, you're saying, don't worry, it's going to be all right. So those are some ways of helping with it, and even counting. Count backwards from 10, 10, 9, 8, and that gives your body a chance to slow down. Don't go fast. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. No, no, no. Take your time and go slow, and then approach the problem in a whole different mindset and manner. Dr. Dan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's one other thing, like Dr. Stottlemyre has already said, is taking time, right? Watch it
Yes.
change how you looking at the situation. You know, watch
Mhm.
the negative meditation, right? Being
Yeah.
careful. And oftentimes we understand that just like Dr. Stottlemyre said about the current life situation, whether you like you done lost your job, you know what I mean? That could bring on anxiety. You know, the stress from working on the job. You know what I'm saying? The
Oh
pressure
yeah,
of it,
that's a
right?
pretty
You
thing.
know, and then we look at relationship. How is relationship bringing you anxiety? And oftentimes we allow ourselves to get in situations that we know can cause anxiety. And it's all about making the right choice and making the right decisions. I mean, to prevent
Right.
some of this anxiety that I will almost want to say that we cause on ourselves because of the decisions that we make. Not in all situations, but in some, we cause it on ourselves based on the decisions that we make. Okay, we got another point that we want to deal with. Another point I want to share is disappointments. Okay,
Mhm.
there go, there go. Disappointment, right? And what can cause disappointments, right? That can end up throwing you into some type of depression. How about unrealistic expectations? I mean,
Right.
get
Mhm.
upset and get disappointed, and we have these unrealistic expectations for people to follow. We have these expectations that we ourselves cannot even hold ourselves to. We can't even perform it, but we have these expectations on others, and then when we get disappointed, it throws us in that realm. Watch this. Relying on people, you know, being able to depend on people. When people let you down that you depend on, that could be a disappointment, right? It's just like it affects
Yeah.
the relationship. And it could take you into depression. When I began to do a little study, I said, really? I said, me being disappointed can cause me to feel a certain kind of way, could bring me in sadness, could bring me in some type of grief. You know, it depends on how they end up disappointing me. And then, final I want to say is the past experiences. Past experiences can, it's a reminder, watch this, of past experiences that we end up staying in this being disappointed, right? Having this phase. Go ahead, Dr. Stottlemyre. I'm gonna turn it over to you, sir.
Yes. When you start talking about disappointments from the past, you cannot live in the past. Don't try to bring your past into your future. When you bring your past into your future, then you cannot go forward. You cannot go forward. And things it's true that things may have happened in your past, but you have to be willing to go forward, to have the courage to go forward, and such as in the most common one that I would say would be in relationships. And you may go through and now you find yourself that you have your like your fist is closed and you may have your heart closed. You don't trust, you don't, but if you have if you have your fist like this, nothing can get in and nothing can get out because you still hold on. So you have to watch this. You have to be willing to take a chance to possibly be hurt again.
Mm.
Not that you're looking to be hurt again, but if you never open your heart up, nothing can get in. And you can't give anything either. So you have to be willing to say, I'm willing to take a chance. And even if it's in business, it's the same thing. If you got everything closed, you don't trust, you don't, well, this happened last time, you'll be stuck right where you are.
Yes, yes.
You don't want to be stuck. You don't want to find yourself in a rut. And I often say a rut is a shallow grave with the ends kicked out.
Mm. That's good. That's good.
So that means that you have to learn to stand up. Stand up, go forward so that you won't be in a rut. Because you have to remember this, that you have purpose and destiny in your life that God got for you. Never let another person control your destiny.
Yeah.
Control your purpose. No matter what they may, and see, when you talk about relationships, when we talk about jobs, and somebody may say, you ain't gonna never be nothing, you'll never be president of your own company, you'll never get a promotion or whatever. Don't let anybody speak death over your future.
Mm.
Don't accept it. If they're not speaking life, sometimes you have to cut people out of your life. Yes, I say that again. You have to cut some people out of your life, even if they're family, even if they're friends. Because when you're trying to go forward, some people just cannot see your vision. So you have vision killers. Why do you want to do? You too old, you too young. You ain't even been to school for this. You have to have that. Listen, one of my prayers every day that I say, God, do me a favor and give me favor. God, do me a favor and give me favor. I may not have everything that I need, but you can give me the ideas. You can give me the vision, the dreams, how to do, what to do. You be encouraged in whatever you want to do. Don't let anxiety come because, oh, I missed my opportunity. Your opportunity is always there. As the old people used to say, and I agree because I'm becoming older, that as long as the blood is running warm in your veins, you have a chance to go forward and to exhale and overcome.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I was just thinking about what you were saying about the disappointment, and if I could say this disappointment, watch this, being disappointed, like you said, it could prevent you from going forward, right? You want to watch it. You have a desire, but because you were disappointed, then you can never move forward because your focus is on what had happened or whoever have done that to you, right? Whoever have disappointed you. And so watch this, which takes you into depression because you might want, I'm just going to use this, you want to be loved, but because someone disappointed you in that area, you refuse to go forward, right? You refuse to go forward. You refuse to take the necessary steps to get the love that you need, right? And so that disappointment would hinder you from going or getting what God has for you. This is the reason why we have to cast down every imagination. That those disappointments, yes, we all get disappointed, but you shouldn't allow that disappointment to rule in you, if that makes sense, right? You don't want it to reign in you. You don't want it to have authority in you. Just like you don't want anxiety to have authority in you. All of us at some point in some time have felt anxiety. All of us at some point or some time have felt some type of abuse, whether it's mental or physical, whatever it is. We have felt something, some form of anxiety, right? But if you allow
Yeah.
it to rule you, then that thing will take you into the state of depression, right? Another point, uh, and we're not going to be able to reach all the things that could cause depression, but just 5 points I want to pull out. The third one is being overwhelmed.
Yes.
Being overwhelmed. And so being overwhelmed, watch this. One of the key things that's a part of being overwhelmed is anxiety. That anxiety, now we just talked about those life experiences. We just talked about those.
Right.
But this anxiety that is causing you to feel overwhelmed is causing you to overthink situations. What you were able to handle, you find that you're not able to handle some situations, then it become overburdened. You become overwhelmed with this stuff. It just becomes to be a bunch of weight on you because what you could have handled at one point, you're not able to handle now, right? What you were able, what is probably a simple thing, we overthink it, right? And so this could bring on feeling overwhelmed. Watch this. Another thing is post-traumatic stress disorder, or difficulty in dealing with trauma, right?
Right.
And you have people that have been in the armed service. You have people, watch this, that have been abused, have this. You have all kind of people that was part of gang violence deal with PTSD. I mean, you have this, and it's the difficulty in dealing with trauma.
Yeah.
Because trauma will come. It's how you handle the trauma, right?
Right.
You can feel overwhelmed by the demanding of job. Watch this. Here go another key: financial distress, financial issues, right? You begin to feel overwhelmed when you can't pay that light bill, that gas bill. You begin to feel overwhelmed when you know the money not coming in for you to take care of that rent. Because why? You thinking about, man, I can't afford to be put out. Hey, I can't. Right. What am I going to do with my kids? What am I going to do with the kids? And we get overwhelmed by this. We get overwhelmed by the family responsibilities. These are the things that cause us to be burdened. Go ahead, Dr. Stutterman.
Yeah, so when you have all of these things that's coming up on you, you have to understand that you're not the only one that's going through. There's many people that's going through this, but the real problem, the real answer that you're looking for is, what do you do? Why are you going through? It's how you go through what you go through.
Yeah.
How you go through. And I keep talking about that you have to, when you have this heaviness, I dare to say this, I've learned during depression to praise. During depression, you have to learn to have to say, Lord, give me the spirit of joy. Because joy is an inner quality not only that God can give you. And notice that I did not say happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Because happiness is based upon your surroundings and how you feel.
Yeah.
I often say if it's 100 degrees outside and you on the inside drinking some ice cold lemonade and got your air conditioner on, you kick back looking at TV chilling, but then that's because you're happy because of your circumstances, because of your surroundings. But then the difference in joy of when you're going through, and you may have this going through with your job, and you're going through with your children, you're overwhelmed with things, and you're thinking, but joy is this, that it's 100 degrees, that you got a box fan in your window, you sweating like crazy, man, your shirt all wet. But the joy says that at about 5 o'clock, the sun is going to start going down. A cool breeze is going to come through the window, and that fan and the thing that has me sweating now is going to become my air conditioner.
Yeah.
So somebody says it's going to get greater later.
Yes.
It's going to get greater later. It's going to get greater later. Now, when I say later, I don't think 2 months from now, later is any time after right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's gonna get
Yeah.
greater later. Oh yeah, man. Hey baby, it's gonna get greater later. You have to continue to go through. There's when you're having these difficulties and dealing with the trauma and the different things that's going on in life, man, whether it's finances or whatever, hey, trouble don't last always.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
It's very true. You know how long midnight is? Do you
Mm.
know we talk about the blackness of midnight? It's that midnight. Oh my God. But do you know how long midnight is?
Mm.
Midnight is 60 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Midnight is 60 seconds. After those 60 seconds, every minute that goes by causes you to get closer to morning. So weeping may endure for a night.
Yeah.
In one place it says, or in a moment. But joy is going to come in the morning. Even while you may be mourning,
Mhm.
MOURNING. Listen, joy is going to come in the morning. So hold on, hold on.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I want to get that scripture that you brought up about putting for the spirit of heaviness. That's Isaiah 61. I'm gonna read verse 3. I think to about the 10th verse. I want you to pay attention to this. This is interesting. Probably won't even read that many. Starting at the 3rd verse. Watch what Isaiah said. It said to appoint unto them that mount in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he might be glorified. Now, watch this. I was just reading over this, but this blessed me. And they shall build the old wastes. They shall raise up the former desolation, and they shall
Yeah.
repair the waste cities, the desolation of many generations. And the strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of the aliens shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers. But ye shall be named the priests of the Lord. Men shall
Yeah.
call, listen, this bless me. Men shall call you ministers of our God. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in their glory shall ye boast yourself. Listen, he said, when you put on the garment, watch this, when you put on take on joy for mourning, and you put on the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, all the things that you need gonna come forth. All the stuff that's dried up, all the stuff that was destroyed,
yeah.
it's gonna come. It's gonna turn around. And I want to encourage you that even when you begin to feel overwhelmed, even when you feel disappointed, even when you feel the anxiety, if you can learn to put on that garment of praise, oh my God, you can expect things to turn. You can expect that there's going to be something different coming forth. Watch what he said. Your enemy is going to, oh, y'all, come on. Your enemy is going to harvest your land. Come on. They're going to make sure they're going to plow the ground for you. Are you hearing me? Just bless me. He's saying, listen, you're going to end up, even in the midst of the Gentiles, right? You're going to be called ministers of our God. He said, people going to notice something. Why? Because they know what situation you were in. They knew that you had some hardship. But when you put on that joy, I'm sorry, y'all feel like I'm preaching or something. But when you put on that joy, I want to encourage you that for these issues, these things that you're dealing with, these whys, what is causing this depression, if you can learn to just give God some praise, if you can learn to, in the midst of what you're doing, the Bible said, let everything that have breath praise ye the Lord. Not just while everything is good, but even when things are down, when the money is funny, when trouble is coming, when relationships are not right, you got to learn to be thankful. That praise is saying, Lord, I thank you. That praise is saying, you still good to me, right? And you can expect that joy for things going to turn around. Dr. Studdemeyer, you want to go into the identity crisis, or you want me to do it?
Yeah, let's go into identity crisis. The identity crisis, cultural conflict, cultural conflict. Now you have tension between personal culture and let me see here. Okay, there you go. And the workplace, school, environment, all of these things. You have physical, or mental health issues. When you're talking about that, you have chronic illnesses that people deal with. Chronic, it continues to come back and back and back. These are identity crisis. You say, man, what am I going through? Do I have a sign on my forehead that say, just give me all the pain in the world or something?
Right, yeah.
You know, I have experienced this. It's many of us who have experienced. You know, anybody have experienced something like that? Somebody say, me too, me too. It's gonna be a Me Too movement.
Come on, right.
That we went through. You know, you have diagnosis or other health issues that you may have. All of this is dealing with your identity crisis of who you are. Now, remember this: what you go through is not who you are.
All right, that's right.
Let me say that again. What you go through is not who you are. Now, and I believe it's in Mark where it talks about that Jesus came blind Bartimaeus. His name is Bartimaeus, but they called him blind because of what? Because of his issue, because of his identity crisis was that he can't see.
Yes.
But yet, though he could not see, let me help somebody bless yourself. He would not be quiet when he knew that Jesus was close by, because he heard that he had did for others, and if he did it for others, he could do it for me too.
Yes.
And they told him, shut up. Stop calling so loud. Now, listen, when you need any kind of help, you keep calling till you get help. There's no shame in calling for help and saying that I need help.
Yeah.
People may see you, and they may see you as being strong in what you in, but sometimes the strongest people are the weakest people. You need to check on those. I heard Sister Lillian that she was telling me that it was someone that had committed suicide, and in their letter that they wrote, they said, make sure you check on those who you think are so strong around you. All because of identity crisis going on. And if you don't, that's why I said, God, please give me the spirit of discernment.
Yeah.
Because people wear masks.
Yes.
They wear masks. And it may seem like everything is all right. But you need to ask somebody, how you doing? And if they say, I'm doing fine. Well, let me ask you this question. How you really doing? How you really feeling? Do you have any issues going on? I'm concerned about you. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but I need you to know that I'm concerned. Is there anything? Can I be an ear to hear? Just don't take it for granted because it looked like a person, look like $1 million and may look like they have $1 million. But just because you're a millionaire don't mean you're not depressed.
That's right.
Just because you dress well don't mean that you don't have some depression going on. I was yet preaching, teaching, jumping, shouting. But I was going through all these things in my body, all of these surgeries and all that. And I was going through some depression.
Yes.
I could tell you that. Pastors go through depression, missionaries go through depression, elders go through depression, teachers and prophets go through depression. Your boss on your job go through depression.
Yes.
It hits everybody. You are not exempt from the pressures of life.
Yes.
Dr. Dan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Going, just even thinking about the identity crisis. A lot of us have never dealt with the fact that, watch this, not having fathers in the home can cause identity crisis. Not having mothers in the home can cause identity crisis, right? Because it does affect you. Not being life being spoken into you can cause identity crisis. Oftentimes, I know, like, when they talk about that physical or mental health, man, I know, Dr. Stoudemire, when you was going through what you was going through, I mean, I know it had to affect you some type of way where you're like, man, it make you think twice about who you are and whose you are.
Right.
It caused you to deal with that. Then you get to a certain age.
Real talk.
And you're not even, you get to a certain age. Now you're thinking like, man, hey, I hear this, I'm 55. Man, what do I have for myself? You're looking like, man, some things ain't been the way I want it to be. And then you start questioning yourself, right? And instead of saying, okay, hey, I'm gonna do this. I know who I am. Let me get on the road and let's get it. It's never too late to get started. Let me say that. It's never too late to get started. But identity crisis will cause you to be stagnant.
Yes.
It will cause you not to move. It will cause you not to go forward because of uncertainty about who you are. And we all have experience. I know I experienced that. Like, man, God, who am I? I mean, I know I've been to church all my life. I've been married a few times. Those things didn't work out. Jesus, what's going on? What's really happening to me? I don't know if anybody could really be truthful. Like, I had the identity struggles, especially when it came down to marriage, hit me hard.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to be a husband of one wife. Oh, y'all not hearing me. And so I began to feel, watch this, like a failure. I began to feel like, you know what, it must be something about me, and it began to be an ongoing cycle of being uncertain about who I am. So no matter what I got into or what relationship I got into, I still didn't know who I was.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so we have these things, and we just have to be able to, like I said, get counsel. I recommend it. I definitely recommend counseling. Let somebody talk with you so they could speak life back into you, right? That's all. Some of us just need life spoken. Some of us need to hear a father figure or a mother figure to speak life into us, that we can revive that fire that once was there.
And Dr. Dan.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Dan, going through, like you're talking about with the marriages and different things like that. And another thing that we go through is midlife crisis. That midlife is from 40 years old to like 65.
Yeah.
And you say, man, from up to 40, man, I was banging, I was doing. Now I'm in this midlife crisis, and you feel like, man, what's going on? I feel like I have to start all over. I feel like I have to, but you have to understand something, that when you go through these situations, and me myself, hey, I've been married. I've been married a few times. And I'm like, man, will I ever find love?
Right.
Will I ever find love? I see other people that they're in love, they have found somebody. But I feel that then I start feeling unworthy.
Come on, talk about it. Yes, sir.
Am I worth even saying that somebody's going to love me? And I would see, I promise you, I would see other people in their relationships, how they holding hands, how they
Hmm.
compliment one another. And I would begin to cry because
Yeah.
I said, I want that.
Yes.
But sometimes we don't let your pride keep you from saying, God, I need you to help me.
Yes.
Like I said before, as long as there is blood running in your veins, man, there is hope for you.
Yes.
All
Yes.
these things happen. Man, people they may question, am I worthy? It's this, do you sometimes you say, man, God, do you even care about me?
Yeah.
God, do you love me? Am I cursed?
Mm.
But you have to understand that the one who curses you is the devil.
Hmm.
Now, God can allow something to happen, but that don't mean he's the cause of it. And if he is the cause of it, get yourself together so you can get on the right track.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to get to the point that God may allow some things to happen,
Yeah.
but it's always to get you on the right track. And you have to be able to say, all right, Lord, I'm willing to listen.
Yeah.
And I found out that I did not know who Steademite was.
Right. Right. Come on.
My first marriage was at 23. And I've always been the marrying kind.
Hmm.
I've always wanted to be married until I wasn't married no more. And I'm gonna try it again. And people say, "Man, you've been married 3 times." And I said, "Well, I guess now my thing is this. Well, am I a quitter or will I keep trying to try to find somebody?" I even got to the point that I said I would never marry. I would never get married to another black woman in my life. Can I be real? Can I be real about it? Or you want me to give you some cotton candy?
Right. Right. Right.
I said, I'd never marry another black woman in my life. And I'm sure some women that say, oh, I'd never get with another black man.
Hmm.
But then I thought about it and I was like, well, maybe I try a white woman. I just had personally, I just had that one little issue. And that's that they great grandfather owned mine. So I had now love who you gonna love. But
Right.
that was my issue. But I said, God, there's somebody somewhere that you have made for me.
Yeah.
And I said, I love now just because I'm praising our blackness and my black women don't mean I hate anybody else. I just love what's mine.
Hmm.
And that's exactly what God has done for me. I could tell you this, that I could start seeing light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you feel it. And I felt like, man, there's nothing there. And can you imagine that you up and you encouraging everybody else, but you yourself, when you
Hmm.
get done, your head is down.
That's right. Yes.
You sure know you spoke. Man, you know you do some good counseling. Do you know that counselors need counselors?
That's right. That's right.
Just because, listen, just because Dan, just because we are counselors and we are accredited and we are being trained, it doesn't mean that we don't need help either. You
That's
need
right.
to be able to talk to somebody.
Yes, sir.
And I know we can talk to the Lord. Man, he's the all in all. But sometimes I want to talk to somebody who got some flesh on
That's right.
them.
That's right.
Somebody that I know can feel what I feel. Not that he can't, because he can, and he came and he died and he went through everything. But sometimes you need to talk to somebody that you say, man, I know you feeling like I'm feeling. You haven't been through like I've been through. Can I talk to you?
Yes.
And we talk about counseling, and listen, when Dan, we are here to help the community.
That's right.
You know, with Integrity Christian Counseling, I'm there because the community it's for everybody. That means for those who are in church and those who are believers and those who are in the world and who are sad.
That's right.
Because depression, it comes to everybody.
That's right. And don't discriminate.
If you're Democrat, it don't matter if you're Republican, it don't matter if you're black, white, fat, skinny, tall, or short. Everybody goes through something. Go, oh man, Dad, do you know this time has flown?
Oh man, yeah. Time did fly through. Let me go over this last point because we need to see if there's any questions. We'll go to Sister Lillian. Last one is unforgiveness, dwelling on hurtful events, holding on to grudges and resentment. This right here will take you into depression. I mean, because you're holding on to this stuff. This stuff has not leave. Watch this. If you're holding on to unforgiveness, that means you're constantly dwelling. I'm gonna say that again. If you have unforgiveness, you're constantly replaying it over and over and over again, right? Have a misconception of what forgiveness is. Some people think that you only forgive people when they apologize to you. Forgiveness is even before that. Let me talk to you. Forgiveness, watch this, is for you. Can I say that again?
Yeah, that's right.
Forgiveness is for you. So whether or not if they come and apologize, you should forgive that individual so you can be free.
That's right. That's
so
right.
You can be free, right? And don't get caught up in pride. Don't get self-righteous, because all these things will prevent you from forgiving, right?
Yeah.
I ain't going, why would I do that? I ain't did nothing wrong. You got to learn to forgive. Yeah. It's not about, watch this, it's not about getting an apology from somebody else. It's about allowing God to free you. That's what it's about, right? And then the root cause, and then I'm going to let Dr. Stoudemire, is what's the root cause of it all? Our mindset.
Yeah.
Your mindset, how you think, how you read, it's what's controlling all these emotions. It's what's controlling all these triggers. It's about how you're thinking and how you seeing it, and it's how you're processing, right? And so this is the reason why we have to make sure that we have a changed mind. Dr. Stoudemire, you got 2 minutes, and we got to turn it over to Sister Lillian.
All right, let me say this. When unforgiveness is to set you free, you are in a prison when you do not forgive. Let me say it again. You are in a prison when you do not forgive. I know people who have, because of trauma in their lives, and they have not forgiven, that the person is dead and gone, have been gone for 30 years. And they still saying they did this to me, they did that to me, they did this to me. That person is dead and gone. They're not there to be around you. They're not there to say nothing. And some people are still alive, but they don't know how you on their mind.
Right.
I often say, don't allow anybody to stay in your head rent-free. I say that again. Don't let anybody stay in your head rent-free.
That's right. That's right.
They just there. They're not even paying to be there. But if you want to set yourself free, like the word of God said, man, forgive those. Why? Because you want God to forgive you.
Yeah.
I know I did some jacked up stuff. And God has forgave me, and I'm probably gonna do some other stuff for sure. You know why? Because I'm human,
Yeah.
and He gonna forgive me for it. So how can we not forgive others? I didn't say you have to sit down and have dinner with them. I didn't
Right.
say you have to go to the ball game with them. So some people say, well, forgiveness, that means I got to be around them. That means, no, you don't have to be around them, but you give forgiveness so you won't have hatred in your heart.
Yeah.
We out here, man. This is some stuff we could be talking about. I
Right.
can't
Right.
believe we're gonna be moving on from this, but man, Sister Lillian, did anybody have anything to say? Any questions? Any comments? Anybody on Facebook or whatever? What's man?
I
We
would
turn
like to,
to Sister Lillian.
would like to say something.
Go ahead, Doctor.
Get rid of your stinking thinking.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In 2021 to about 2023, I suffered with depression. I went through a depression of didn't want nobody bother me, didn't want nobody around me. Um, I didn't want to be with my wife. I didn't want to be with the church. I got to a place where I just felt like there was no love. Uh, I felt like I was talking to preachers and different friends, and I said, I don't feel no love, and I don't feel like loving nobody. And they said, boy, if you die, you're going to hell. And even though they said that it really didn't make me no different at that time, but then what really brought me out of depression, I never forget, I had to preach at 96 Cedar Road at our church, but our district was involved. And when I got there and I preached, the Lord broke the yoke of depression.
Mm-hmm.
And when he broke the depression, um, I started getting back around people. I started doing the thing. And I remember preaching at Zion on a Saturday morning for our jurisdictional meeting. It was my Saturday. And I remember preaching at my father-in-law church. And I told them, I said, I was getting ready to walk out on my marriage. My marriage was over to me. I didn't love Lady Trent. I told her I didn't love her. I went through hell and high water. And it wasn't nothing to do with her. It was all to do with me. So that's why for the last couple of years, our marriage been in a struggle. But because the Lady Trip was a praying woman, and she said, devil, you can't have my husband. She said, you can't even have him. She said, he's not going nowhere. And she told me, she said, sit down, shut up, you ain't going nowhere. I said, I don't want to be in this marriage. She said, you ain't got a choice. What you gonna do? I couldn't divorce her. I couldn't go nowhere. But I come to tell you, God brought me through. I don't know if y'all remember this old song said, love brought me back. My. It was love. Hallelujah. It was the love of the saints. It was the love of God. Ah, the spinner even made a song, said, love don't love nobody. Love is the love, unless you can give it away. And I tell you, I love everybody now. Oh, if you would have been in my place back then, my God, if you would have been in my place back then, I was upstairs in a room by myself. I was doing my college work from Grand Canyon University. Oh, but God, it was God, it was God, it was God. I know I ain't the preacher, but I'm just, but I'm, but you know, I'm just excited, and I think everybody on should say something from Facebook. They ought to come on this Zoom land and let the people know what God delivered them from. Because there's a lot of people. Woody J. Cupper wrote a book, and I don't know if y'all ever saw this book, but the book was one name on it, and it was all over the book, and I didn't never understand Woody James Campbell gonna write this book called Depression, 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 Depression. Do y'all remember that book he wrote?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Depression, depression. And now 2024, almost 30, 40 years later, you all are doing the same thing and y'all taping it and y'all letting the people know that they don't have to live in depression. You could come out of depression.
That's
and
right.
the way to come out of depression is 5 ways to come out of depression. First of all, don't get by yourself. You got to get around people that know God. You got to get around folks. You got to get around your children. You got to get around your even your animal. You gotta love. You gotta love. You gotta love. It was love. It was love. Hallelujah. That brought me out. So thank y'all for letting me have my few minutes to say this. I told Dr. Stuttermeyer about my love. I told Dr. Stuttermeyer about my depression. So don't think I just came on here to talk. He told me come on here and share that. And I'm telling you, I wanted to give up on everybody. I wanted to give up on the church. I wanted to give up on everything. I don't know if Apostle Freedom Mac remembered that time when I was going through my depression, but she's on now. Frida, do you remember when I was going through that depression? And I told the church, and I was going through, and I told them, Lady Trent, I didn't love her
I
and all that.
remember.
I was depressed, y'all. I went through it. I didn't want to go to church no more. I didn't want to go nowhere. I told them I don't want to go. I don't want to be around God's people. I don't want to. You didn't want to be around nobody. But God, hallelujah, He did it for me, y'all. Thank
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
for the freedom that came on because she's my witness to that. That was a terrible thing to be in my life. And I thank y'all. I thank y'all.
Bless you.
Y'all,
And we are so grateful for you, Dr. Trent. We are so grateful that you shared your
thank you.
testimony with us today.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do this thing that I do, and I want to invite you all. First, I want to say thank you for joining us this evening. Let me retract. I want to thank you all for joining us this evening for an awesome, awesome session. You all have to tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell people that you don't even know to join the Holistic Counselors every Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm sorry, Central Standard Time. Let me get my time straight. But this was a really awesome session because there are so many college students that we hear about, and then those that we don't hear about that are suffering from depression. And what's
Yeah.
happening now, it's becoming the new normal, and it's a blurb now. It's so and so committed suicide. Now for our next story. This should not be the new normal. We
That's
need to
right.
do something. We've got to pray first and foremost as Christians, as believers. The second thing we've got to do is reach out so that they can reach up and get the help and the healing that they need.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's my statement in regards to what we've talked about tonight. And I really myself enjoyed this because I could speak to a lot of what's been said tonight. So with that, I'm going to roll right into ladies. We have a virtual spa that's coming up on November 23rd. And with that, we're going to be having private conversations for women. It's going to be a safe place where we can talk about the things that concern women. Health, mental health, physical health, spiritual health. And we've got some awesome dynamic folks that are going to come and share with us. And they're
Yes.
going to share from us as from a professional perspective as well to the Word of God. So November 8th is our registration. It is $45. And with that, you're going to get what we call the goodie bag. And the goodie bag has a wonderful journal that has been written by my co-host or host, as I call her, Dominique. She's written a beautiful journal. With that, you get a candle, you get a spa pack so you can put your stuff on your face and just become more beautiful on the outside as well as on the inside. We've got bracelets, we've got bookmarks, we've got wonderful stuff in our goodie bag for our people. So what I need for you all to do is to go out to Facebook. You can go to the story, you can go to the page. And with that, there is a registration form. You can click on it and a form will pop up, and make sure that when you fill out the form, put hope for you so that we can designate where this is going to. So if you have any additional questions, you can go to send us an email, holistic.counselors@gmail.com, or you can personally reach out to me when you send that back to you immediately. So I want to let you know again, November 8th is the deadline, because if you want to get your goodie bag, you got to let us know that you're coming so we can send the information over to you. Okay. So ladies, I'm looking for you. Dr. Mack, Dr. White, I'm looking for you guys to join us because I know that you all have nuggets of wisdom that you can share with the women from all ages, because we all want to grow and glow in the Lord.
And this is only part one now.
That's right.
Yes.
This is only part one, and there will be other parts that's going to be coming up.
Yes.
Sessions coming up over the month, so that you all will be able to really get in there. So I believe that this time, it may be women only unless they call us in because someone wants our input.
Right.
That right. So we're not there trying to listen to you all. This is for the women. This is for the women.
Yes.
And only if y'all ask us to come in and you want a man's point of view from a counsel standpoint.
We will have the doctors on standby just in case we need them. But it is not part of the original plan.
Yeah.
So, and with that, just to drop another nugget in your ears to let you know that the men are going to be getting together for a night with the fathers.
Yeah.
And they also have a meditation camp that's coming up 2025. Get ready.
Oh, yeah.
So they're going to get together and they're going to do their thing together. That being said, I do want to say again, thank you for joining us this evening so you can heal your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit. Thanks again. Join us again and be blessed.
Be blessed.
Good night.
Peace.